From Studio 1A in Tampa, Florida, comes a talk show that really feels your pain and tells you like it is. We love America and all that freedom-loving Americans want to protect. Live from coast to coast and on your radio, it's For the People with Keith Allen.
We'll help you survive this thing called life. We're for the people. Whatever your source of stress or strife, for the people is there.
Hello, Mr. and Mrs. America. I am Keith Allen and proudly welcoming you to this Tuesday's edition of For the People. It's August the 15th, 2017, and we're just going to get right into it. Now, Charlottesville has been the primary focus of a lot of talk shows, and we're going to try to take a look at it intelligently and thoughtfully. So if you'll allow me a little time to be able to explain myself, because a lot of people are talking about it, and I have been talking about it. Yesterday, generally speaking, did not cover all the angles, and nor did I try to have complete analysis of everything, because sometimes you just can't do that, especially when a story is just breaking. And that leads me to this thought. Things happen, and sometimes we don't understand exactly what's happening at the time until all the pieces are put together. And such is what I believe happened. And this is one talk show host opinion of what happened in Charlottesville and the White House. Some people think that there was a disconnect. Some people think that Donald Trump should have named the hate groups by name and said more. And my opinion is that with the information that was given at the time, it was the best that Donald Trump could do. And if you've not heard the speech, this was 2 days ago. This is when things started going awry, things started going south. And this is what Donald Trump did say.
We're closely following the terrible events unfolding in Charlottesville, Virginia. We condemn in the strongest possible terms this egregious display of hatred, bigotry, and violence on many sides. On many sides. It's been going on for a long time in our country. Not Donald Trump, not Barack Obama. This has been going on for a long, long time. It has no place in America. What is vital now is a swift restoration of law and order and the protection of innocent lives. No citizen should ever fear for their safety and security in our society, and no child should ever be afraid to go outside and play or be with their parents and have a good time. I just got off the phone with the governor of Virginia, Terry McAuliffe, and we agreed that the hate and the division must stop, and must stop right now. We have to come together as Americans with love for our nation and true affection, really, and I say this so strongly, true affection for each other. Our country is doing very well in so many ways. We have record, just absolute record employment. We have unemployment, the lowest it's been in almost 17 years. We have companies pouring into our country, Foxconn and car companies and so many others. They're coming back to our country. We're renegotiating trade deals to make them great for our country and great for the American worker. We have so many incredible things happening in our country. So when I watch Charlottesville, to me it's very, very sad. I want to salute the great work of the state and local police in Virginia, incredible people, law enforcement, incredible people, and also the National Guard. They've really been working smart and working hard They've been doing a terrific job. Federal authorities are also providing tremendous support to the governor. He thanked me for that. And we are here to provide whatever other assistance is needed. We are ready, willing, and able. Above all else, we must remember this truth. No matter our color, creed, religion, or political party, we are all Americans first. We love our country. We love our God. We love our flag. We're proud of our country. We're proud of who we are. So we want to get the situation straightened out in Charlottesville, and we want to study it. And we want to see what we're doing wrong as a country where things like this can happen. My administration is restoring the sacred bonds of loyalty between this nation and its citizens. But our citizens must also restore the bonds of trust and loyalty between one another. We must love each other, respect each other, and cherish our history and our future together. So important. We have to respect each other. Ideally, we have to love each other.
Now, folks, that was Donald Trump's first message. Was it a bad message? Did it not communicate that he was not happy about what he saw there and that we needed to be united and we did not need to partake in the violence? Charles Krauthammer, he's a Fox News contributor. He's also a noted columnist. And this was his critique of this very message.
This is not a media story. This is a presidential story. What is shocking is that the President of the United States did not have the instinctive, reflexive, automatic response we would expect of any American leader, and what we saw across the spectrum in American leadership and in among the American populace in being utterly revolted by these right-wing, white supremacist, neo-Nazi groups, and that the President did not do what was just absolutely natural. That's what makes it a story. The fact that he said, oh, yes, and then he added, in his statement on Saturday, he ad-libbed, and many sides. And he repeated it, and many sides. Where did that come from? Yes, of course there's a denunciation to be had of the left. But this was begun by, instigated by, created by neo-Nazis, KKK, and white supremacists. They were the ones who created the beginning of this incident. And one of them is the one who killed a woman and injured a lot of others. I mean, it seems to me you start by denouncing what is obvious. And the fact that the President did not, had to do it 2 days later, is simply stunning. I'm not begrudging him that he said it now, but I remember in the campaign he used to mock his other candidates, his competitors, for reading from a prompter. He had to read from a prompter the name of these groups rather than spontaneously answering on his own on Saturday when he was on his own.
All right, so that's a critique. Maybe Donald Trump could have said more, woulda, shoulda, coulda, all those particular things. And that kind of goes along with the narrative of what the left has to say. But the people are missing from this whole thing is this has been going on, and Donald Trump alluded to this, which was, I thought, brilliant on his part, that this has been festering. Yes, during the Obama administration. This has been going on so much longer in our country. And it's to me, it's absolutely ridiculous. And obviously there's a double standard. Now, provocative and controversial as some of the Civil War characters were, a lot of this free speech, and this is really putting us to the test. Why should we oppose censorship? Look at our media today. Look what's on your TV screen. Look at the violence that dominates the TV screen, bigotry that dominates the TV screen. artwork that can be seen as a direct insult to people's religious beliefs. And when much sexual explicit material can be seen as degrading to women, why not let the majority's morality and taste dictate what others can look at or listen to? The answer's simple and timeless. A free society is based on the principle that each and every individual has the right to decide what art or entertainment he or she wants or does not want to receive or create. Once you allow the government to censor someone else, you cede it to the power to censor you or something you like. You know, censorship's like a poison gas, a powerful weapon that can harm you when the wind shifts. Freedom of expression for ourselves requires freedom of expression for others. It is at the very heart of our democracy. It'll be interesting to see how many more statues come down. What's in men's hearts will not be erased. They'll always find something else. This is just the outward expression of something much more that lies within a person's heart. And trying to eradicate something that happened in the South, whether you liked it or you did not like it. There were things of the Civil War that I did not like. But to rename every single park, to take out of the public square when you've already taken out God, in a lot of places you can't even have the baby Jesus. A lot of places don't even want Santa Claus. But they'll be pretty soon, if the left gets their way, there'll be nothing left to remind us of anything that ever happened to us. And folks, that to me is a slippery slope. Now, I'm of the mind, as the old saying goes, that who don't know history are destined to repeat it. Now, folks, there's something bigger happening here. This movement to remove all Confederate symbols, statues, markers, etc. from public venues with a heavy heart. I think this is a dangerous precedent that is going on in our country. Now, let me be clear. I don't like what the Confederacy stood for, namely the girded, the slavery issue. But it was the times. Didn't make it right, mind you. Now, I've never bought the states' rights spiel that many still use to justify the lost cause. But here's the question. Will extracting Robert E. Lee's statue from a city park or removing a plaque honoring the children of the Confederacy at a state capitol make us more or less aware of our nation's bittersweet history? You know, folks, we have to really think about this. Really long and hard. Jeff Sessions, our Attorney General, said it's up to the states to decide what statues they want to remove. Be careful. Be careful. Because, again, it's the slippery slope. What else will be removed? What else can't you say anymore? It's interesting. Pick your fights. But, folks, this has been going on in the classroom where we've had the progressive left remove the stuff already from the books. This is the outward now expression in the public square to remove it, because this is the final removal. If we remove the statues, then there's going to be no other questions asked by other generations. And again, we will be doomed to repeat ourselves if we do not learn the valuable lessons of history. And believe me, ladies and gentlemen, it will happen again. If we allow this to happen, folks. There's a lot of things that have happened in our past. How about the Indians? Yeah. How about the Indians? How about them? What happened to the Indians? What did we